Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. I do hope that you're well. Today is the 6th of December as I sit down to record this for you, and we are a day before the full moon in Gemini. Busy month ahead with winter solstice, obviously Christmas itself, and then the New Year period. Very powerful month. It always is a powerful month, December, to reflect, awaken and rebirth ourselves, as well as welcome in all of those beautiful golden Christ energies at the end of the month. But let's see, shall we, how it's looking. I think I will come back and do individual readings linked into particularly solstice and probably Christmas itself. But let's just have a look at the overview of the month ahead. Two cards I've already got out, and then I'm going to add to it. But one that keeps coming back constantly, or a reminder, is this, which is the energy of breathe, okay? To catch your breath, to breathe, to take time during this busiest of months to slow down, to realign with yourself, to realign with how you are feeling, what you need, and to create the space in a month that often doesn't have much space when we are busy and we are rushing about. We need to be creating that space, and we need to actually be creating the time for ourselves so that we can center, we can actually receive all of the abundance of blessings and gifts, as well as lessons that this month can bring in for us. This card linked into breathe, obviously also a nod to meditation, prayer, stillness, came in with this card, which is the card of chaos and conflict. What's interesting, card number 33 very linked into the energy of Christ consciousness. And if you think back to the story of the arrival of Christ all those thousands of years ago, his arrival came into a chaotic, conflicted world. And we still are that 2,000 plus years on. The story of trying to find a place for Mary to even birth him. It wasn't smooth sailing. There was no room at the inn. But yet within that state of seemingly unreadiness and unpreparedness, the Christ light still arrived upon the planet, exactly as was planned, exactly as was divinely orchestrated in the perfect way. So that story, that energy is very true for us as we go into this month as well. That whatever is happening around us, however difficult, however chaotic, however conflicted you may feel inside, there is the promise of this light that is coming. Now, this light is already here, of course, but it's as though it gets, I'm hearing, turned up a few watts. Extra voltage comes in at the end of this month, and we are reminded of the importance of tuning into it. But if you are running around in circles and have no space to receive that gift, then it's going to pass you by, which would be a shame. So somehow, through this month, we need to be finding pockets of stillness and space. And even things such as illness, my daughter coming back unexpectedly in a moment because she's unwell, that can create that pocket that actually you need to stop. So however you're stopped, or whether you stop yourself, see it as an opportunity to get closer to yourself, to spirit, and to the energies of this season. Okay, let's carry on. And I think I'd like to pull, I'm hearing 5 more cards from this deck. It's a deck I've been using a lot recently, but I'm feeling as though there's a lot that's coming from it at this moment in time. It's Wisdom of the Oracle by Collette Reid. Okay, so let's just pull 5 cards. I'm going to put them down in front of me and then I'll show you what they are. So for the month ahead, please. Or shall I start with the moon? No, I'm just wanting to say for the month ahead. 5 cards. I knew that would come out. It's the same colour energy as well as this one, Breathe. This is Imagine. Every time I see this card, I just hear John Lennon's Imagine anthem. I don't want to call it a song. I want to call it an anthem. It is an anthem, that beautiful piece of music, to what the world could be if we put down our swords, went into our heart and truly wanted peace and unity consciousness to arrive. And this December is always a reminder that that window can be opened, that door can be opened, but that we are the ones that have to do it. Now, all of this beautiful blue energy also is reminding us to stop, to dream it in, basically, to dream it in. It's interesting that I called it an anthem, not a song, because it feels as though that gives it more power, more strength. It's something that can actually stir your soul to action. It's a call to action, that very song. And I'm also wanting to link it with the air elemental. I mean, it's pretty obvious. If you look at the cards and then you look at the colour of the spray, the air elemental. What this is asking us to do is breathe. Can you actually see it? It says breathe. Exactly the same words that we've got here on this card, breathe. So let's just, before I pull any more cards, let's just use the air elemental and see what comes through, how it helps us to feel. Okay, the first thing I'm hearing is it actually helps us to feel, because the whole point about breathe is that often when we are in panic or when we are in fear or when we are running around, just with too much going on, we're not breathing, we're shallow breathing, we are not taking in the full prana and life force that can actually help us get through whatever that situation is or whatever is in front of us. I can't stress enough. I think this video is going to be called Breathe. Okay, I'm just going to write that down now. Breathe, breathe, breathe. But also breath, breath, breath. With every breath in my body, what are you aiming for? What are you striving for? What are you wishing to leave as legacy? Okay. To my last dying breath, what is it that is important to you? It's literally like I'm feeling the energy of spirit here wanting to shake us all a little bit. Okay, it's literally wanting to shake us all, to bring us to our senses, to awaken us to what is truly important, to cut out a lot of what is superfluous. And I think we're starting to see that. I think the fall of, it's a big word, fall, the start of a push towards the fall, for example, of celebrity culture is one example, that we invest so much of our energy in things that actually aren't really that important to us as souls. If we stop to actually think about what does my soul need in this one moment? What does my soul wish to witness? What does my soul wish to experience? Versus what my egoic mind, where that might want to take me, which might be down a completely dead end, which is dull, shallow, frivolous. There's nothing wrong with a bit of frivolity, but December is a very deep, reflective, spiritual month. And we are being asked to go inward to respect that. Okay. Let's now pull another couple of cards and see what we get. So I'm going to pull 4 more from this deck and then we'll add to it from a few others. So we have fate, the fates. And again, I'm going to tie that in with the golden light, the golden starlight that wishes to come down, pulling down the star. The three wise men who followed the star, which showed them what was destined, what was to come, what was there to help, what was there to heal, what was important. It was so important that they abandoned whatever they were doing on that particular day and travelled from the east to follow the star. Okay, so this is also about following your star. And the card of breath or breathe has also got these little golden stars, golden stars, golden stars. So fated, destined energies. And this lady here, which is you, it's me, it's like she's pulling it towards her. So this is a month to pull towards us that which is destined, not in a desperate way, which is I will have it, just in a way of being aligned. It's easy when you are aligned and when you are following your path and you're listening to your own higher self and you're on track. It's easy. It doesn't mean, well, let me rephrase that. It flows might be a better word. Doesn't mean it's necessarily easy, but it flows. Okay, so we have card number 17, the Fates. Let's just pull another couple. 3 more cards for the people watching. December energies for the people watching. We have time for a nap. Now this is interesting because we've also got, can you see here, the sleepy grandfather moon or grandmother moon here? And again, we've got the moon. I feel as though the moon, sounds a strange thing to say because the moon, of course, is always powerful, but the moon feels as though it's exuding a particularly powerful influence this month. And it's going to be affecting us more than normal. So dream time might be particularly vivid. You might have particularly meaningful dreams. You might have prophetic dreams. You might have visions in your dreams. But also there's this thing about resting the subconscious. Time for a nap. The fact that regeneration takes place when we sleep. Regeneration takes place when we rest. There's also an energy here with all of this beautiful blue energy that I'm sensing, that it's safe to rest. It's safe to switch off. It's safe to have some downtime, okay? So letting go of this energy of, I can't necessarily stop. Because if I stop, I'm going to get left behind. Or if I stop, it's this thing about just allow the world to get on with whatever it's doing and for you to rest when needed. I think I will just pull, though, a card to clarify further the 2 sleepy moons that we've got here. Let's just have a look. Yeah, because you see, before I do that, I said pulling down the stars, pulling down destiny. Here, we've got this little child. I don't know if you can see it, but the child is pulling down the moon, pulling down the energy of the moon. What does the moon stand for you? For me, it's linked into many things, but right now I'm tuning into the goddess energy, for example, the silver starlight, the silver moonlight, the stillness of the moon, the constancy of the moon. We had a strange thing happen in our town over the last 3 nights where I went to bed at about 10, 11 o'clock and the sky, very dark, very clear. It's been very cold here. There's been orange light in the sky and very pronounced orange light in the sky. And it turns out it's light pollution from a football stadium that normally you can't see the lights, or for some reason it's being reflected more into the sky. But you can see it for miles away. And it really got me thinking about the energy of light pollution. And I actually felt quite triggered by the fact that this one stadium in our town is polluting the whole sky, actually, because the darkness is important. We need darkness to be able to rest. The animals need darkness to be able to rest. The trees need darkness. So it's interesting also that that card is orange in itself. It's like, it's time to maybe just, for everything, just to switch off a little bit. But let me just pull a final card on why we've got these two moons. I'm aware, obviously, we've got a Gemini full moon, which is the energy of the twins, but I think it's more than that. Hold on, that was 3 that came out. Just one card, please. Why have we got the energy of the two moons for this month ahead? We've got the energy of to be fair. Not sure whether that helps very much. Let's just see what we can read into that. This card came up last time when I read. We've got, in the cards that I've pulled so far, we've got 2 number 11 cards. 2 and 9 make 11, and 3 and 8 make 11. And 11 is the energy of duality, justice. Maybe there are particular things that are going to be coming up to be balanced, for justice to be served within this powerful moon phase. I've obviously been reading on the Idaho murders. That could be one thing. I don't know if it's going to be solved that quickly though, to be honest. But there are many other situations in our world. Just feels as though there's a balancing out. Okay, right, one more card then from this deck and then we'll move on to another one. Final message, please, for the month ahead. We've got Treasure Island. Okay, Treasure Island. The turtle, the energy of the turtle. The gold star again, on its way, on its way. Okay. Right, where do I like to go now? I think I'd like to pull some tarot cards. And I'm going to use my Winter Waite deck, which is themed with Father Christmas and all sorts. It's a great little deck. So this is the Winter Waite deck. And I'm going to ask, what are the challenges for this month? And then we'll go into what are the blessings. So for the people watching, can I have a look at the energies, please, for December going forward? What are the particular challenges for the months ahead? I said months ahead. Okay, let me just tune them back in. Can I just see the challenges, please, for the month ahead for the people watching? 2 cards I'm hearing. 2 cards. Challenges for the month ahead. Right. Challenges for the month ahead. This is the card of celebration, getting together, reunion, and 10 of Cups is also an energy of good times, often linked into family. So I'm wondering whether there are going to be restrictions linked into us getting together this Christmas time. Doesn't necessarily mean, you know, another lockdown on the cards, but it could just be the resurgence of viruses, as an example. It could also be, if, for example, in the UK, we've got many strikes that are happening. The rail unions are striking. I was thinking of wanting to go up and see my dad before Christmas, and I think there's 6 dates over the next couple of weeks where the trains aren't running. They're now saying that there are going to be no trains running in the new year either. You know, I'm not going to make a political statement on what I think about that, but it's just a fact that travel is going to be more tricky, for example, in this country, linked into the energy of strikes. But that's just a UK reference. So it could be other things linked into where you live. You know, what's going on with transportation, what's going on with virus. And, you know, that can just literally be, I mean, in the UK, for example, there is an upsurge in strep A infection. And they are saying that they've come out and already said they know that they think it's linked into the lockdowns that we had and immunity being suppressed, basically. So the thing is, at some point, it fights back. And unfortunately, there are children that are suffering as a result of that. So, you know, it may very well just be that, you know, you're going to have a family gathering and then somebody gets sick or a couple of people get sick and it can't materialize. I mean, let's hope that doesn't happen. But I did ask, what is the challenge? The other challenge, of course, is that maybe we just don't feel like celebrating. You know, this is the card of party, celebration. I think there's an energy out there in terms of And this is, you know, shadow energy really, which is like, well, what's the point in celebrating? Look at the world. Look at all the problems. There's also the financial issues. Many people don't have as much money. It's harder to, you know, to give. But let's go back to the true meaning of Christmas again. And the true meaning of Christmas is not necessarily about the glossy present under the tree. In fact, it completely isn't about that. It's about the return of the Christ light. And that can always be celebrated. But there seems to be something here about, let me just pull one other card because it's linked into family and it's linked into celebration. Yeah, because on the bottom of the deck, actually, we've got the Six of Cups. Sorry, not the Six of Cups, the Six of Pentacles. There's an energy of it's hard to give and receive. And I think this is linked into the fact that many people are feeling very depleted, very exhausted, very run down, or maybe just don't have the financial resource as well. I'm just hearing it's as though people feel as though they've got nothing left in their tank. Okay, so it's like empty tanks. But ultimately, somehow we need to get ourselves to a place where we feel as though we do want to celebrate, we do want to be with our loved ones, we do want to give. Remember, the whole thing about giving is that you give without any expectation of getting anything back. You give from your heart. And when you give from your heart, and when you just give from your heart, you always get it back tenfold anyway. But that's not the reason you do it. So I think this Christmas is also a reminder that, you know, maybe for people that are suffering financially, it's not about the present. It's maybe about your presence, or it's about, I don't know, making something yourself. It doesn't have to be going into a shop to buy it. Although, of course, shops need our support as well. People rely on jobs, etc. So, yeah, it just feels as though, I'm just looking at the cards on the bottom of the deck, it just feels as though there's an energy out there of self-sabotage a little bit as well, in some. Worries and fears, trapped in our own mind, you know, that this is quite graphic energy here. It's negative energy. It's like, what's the point? What's the point? Because this isn't about money here. This is not what I'm talking about. This is like somebody up at night worried about how they're going to be able to celebrate or have a good Christmas. But I think we've got our priorities wrong in terms of what Christmas is actually about anyway. It's about the simple things. It's about people. It's about heart energy. Maybe this Christmas is actually about stopping and receiving. But equally, giving can be just in terms of what you give from your heart in terms of prayer. You know, good thoughts, good intentions, a nice smile. So that's all the negative stuff. Let's see what the blessings are that wishes to come in this month. So for the month ahead, for the people watching, what are the blessings that wish to come in? We have the energy of the Lovers. Could literally be a lover, or it could be a decision in love. We do have the full moon in Gemini tomorrow, which is the sign of the twins. Links me back to twin flame soulmate energy, and we have the Page of Wands. So we have, you know, the Page of Wands typically is dynamic, fast moving, motivated, wanting to take action. Might be linked into that. Let's just go on and see what else we get. What blessings are coming in? It does feel as though there is, now let me just see what else we get. Hold on. Let's have 3 more cards before I say anything else. What are the blessings that wish to come in this month, please? We have the Six of, what is that? Six of Wands, which is victory. We have the Seven of Pentacles with the beautiful little robin. Work. Hard work leads to victory. Effort leads to acknowledgement. One more card. and Temperance, and we've also got the star on the bottom of the deck. Temperance here, the energy of healing coming in. But again, can you feel this quite soft energy that's sort of flowing through this reading? We started by talking about breath and stillness and silence and imagining a better world. And now we've got the energy of Temperance, which is again about balance and healing. And I love this card. Isn't she beautiful? There she is in her Noel type cloak, balancing the water. And we've also got the star. The star here is literal. The blessing of this month is the star. It's the star. It's the Christ light. It's the hopes. It's the dreams. Completely and utterly opposite energy to what we've got here. Okay. I even want to say that if your plans are thwarted at the last minute or at some point, still somehow find the joy in your heart. Celebration is important. Ritual is important. I put this tree up in my office yesterday. I don't usually have a tree in my office, but I spend a lot of time here, and I thought actually it's going to make me feel happy to see it every day, because I love all the sparkliness and the twinkliness of Christmas, and I love all the songs, and I love all the traditions. I love the whole energy around it. And if you're not feeling as though you're in the mood, try and make an effort, is what I'm really trying to say. There must be something you've got in your house which you can put up just to bring a bit of sparkle, a bit of light, a bit of colour. Because then by doing that, you help yourself, you get yourself back in the mood. I was talking to my kids yesterday about our favourite Christmas songs, and the more that we talked about it, the more I realised I loved them all. It's actually pretty impossible to say, for me anyway, what my favourite Christmas song is, because there are so many that are so beautiful. I do quite like Greg Lake actually, but that's quite a melancholy one. But there's just so many beautiful songs, beautiful songs. So we need to remember that, get ourselves in the mood. But definitely there's also an energy here of hard work, the hard work that you've put in through the year, paying off. So whatever that means for you, be on the lookout for that. Okay, let's pull a couple of cards linked into the full moon tomorrow in Gemini. Remember, of course, the influence will last for a little while. It's not just the day itself. But let's have a look at what this full moon in Gemini is bringing in. And actually, I think I was about to put it back on there, but I will just say we've got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. I want to pull another card from another deck. So we've got Fate. Again, Fate coming in with this full moon in Gemini. We had the Fate card before, haven't we? Yeah, we've got two cards now linking into Fates. So there seems to be some fated energy coming in. Let's pull one more card linked into the Wheel of Fortune. Full moon in Gemini. Aren't they great cards? I love them. I love them. We've got the mince pies, the sweeties, the gingerbread house, the candy cane, the little rat on top. Okay, right, what else have we got? What goes with the Wheel of Fortune for full moon in Gemini? Full moon in Gemini energy. Why have we got the Wheel of Fortune? Ooh, that's just flipped out. And how interesting. That shot out of the deck, and it's actually the Eight of Wands. So something fated coming in quite quickly, because then we've got the energy of the Fool on the bottom of the deck. And what's that one sticking out? We've also got the, what is that? Seven of Wands, I think that is. You've earned it. You've earned the right to whatever it is that's coming in. Something's coming in quickly, I tell you. Look at that, 8 of Wands. I also feel as though there's snow coming in quickly. I mean, I know it's an obvious thing to say because the Wands have got snow on them, but I'm feeling that. I'm also feeling as though there is a shot of weather on the way. Let's just put it that way. I mean, I know there is anyway. This week in the UK, as I say, we're getting much colder. I think there is snow on the way. But I'm feeling I still want to say that. And it's linked into, of course, other conditions. We've got volcanoes going off in different parts of the world. Watch the weather this month. It feels as though it's going to be, I'm wanting to say teaching us a lesson, which makes it feel as though it's malevolent, which it isn't. But again, it's just this energy of, you know, sometimes illness can stop us in our tracks to make us see things in a different way, to view life in a different way, to view our priorities in a different way. It feels as though the elements can do that as well. And those of you that haven't seen it, who are new to my channel, there's a video I did about 2 months ago on the food cost of living crisis and heating energy crisis, particularly in Europe. That's very relevant for these times. Lots of brilliant comments that came in on that video as well, of ways to keep yourself warm, survival tips, all of that. Okay, so that might well be worth another look. So, okay, we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of Wands for full moon in Gemini. And we also had that 7, didn't we? The 7 of Wands. Just lots of fast moving energy. Feels as though we're going to blink and this month is going to be over anyway. So I'm wanting to also say enjoy it. We've also got the energy of the moon itself coming through with the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. There's definitely an energy here of love I'm picking up this month for those of you that are seeking it, looking for it, ready for it. You know, this can also be a recommitment within an existing relationship. But it does just feel also as though there is an energy which is propelling love forward, greater love, greater propensity to love, to go deeper, to become more intimate, all of that. But we also have got the moon here for the full moon in Gemini as well. It feels as though whatever is coming, whatever is fated, is arriving quickly. It's as though we can't quite see it. Might be something unexpected. Okay. Let me just clear the decks now and end with a couple of other final messages. I'm wanting to go back to this deck again. Okay, we're going to go back to this deck, Wisdom of the Oracle. Feels as though there's 2 more cards to bring forth. Okay, 2 more cards for the people watching. Oh, okay, I'm hearing trick or treat. I know what they're doing here. Right, we're going to do 2 cards from both decks. Right, let's firstly do, trick or treat. So I'm going to put them face down so I can't see what they are. So let's have a card for trick. I've got 2, hold on. 1 card, please, for trick. What is the trick energy? 2 cards again, okay. What is the treat energy? Okay, well that's just one that's come up and it actually came up face up. So I'll show you them in a minute. Hold on, I just want to also do the tarot. Show me the trick energy. Show me the trick energy. December, show me the trick energy. Oh, there's a whole load of them. No, I don't need that many. Show me the trick energy, please. Okay, 1, thank you. Show me the treat energy. Thank you. Okay, right. Let's look at the trick energy. What have we got? Gets more mysterious. The trick energy. Look at this. Unfinished symphony and message in a bottle. There's going to be, you see this is my card that I link into the energy of twin flame, soulmate, unfinished symphony, you know, somebody that you know, but maybe you're not with, but it's unfinished. But we've got a message in a bottle, a message coming, but it's in the trick position. Can you trust a message that you get this month, is what I'm wanting to say. Or take it away necessarily from that energy, or include it. It could also be that a message is not heard in the way that you deliver it. There's miscommunication. Or a message never gets delivered, full stop. I'm wondering whether we might get some internet downage, or, you know, when all the apps keep going down, like Facebook keeps crashing, Instagram keeps crashing, TikTok, I don't know, I'm not on it, I think that crashes occasionally. It's what I've said in previous videos, that there's always going to be one stable platform. At the moment, I think YouTube's actually probably one of the more stable platforms. I'm being told to concentrate on YouTube in particular for this month ahead. I got that message yesterday. So it may very well be that you send a message, or it's text messages that don't arrive, or you're waiting for a message and it never comes, or it feels as though there's interference with the message somehow, whether it's a love message or it's something else. I'm being shown a telephone, like an old-fashioned telephone, and sometimes conversations that you have on a telephone or on text certainly can be misconstrued. You can't see a person's body language. It's miscommunication. Is Mercury about to go backwards, retrograde? That's what I'm feeling here. It's all a bit skewed. It's a dud note. Watch out for miscommunication this month. And then we've got the 9 of Pentacles as a trick energy. Okay. Right, this feels as though I'm being taken now to the world of business. It's as though there's a deal that you think is signed and sealed and delivered. It's all wrapped up. You're waiting for the final, signature on the contract. And again, something just might go awry. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm also picking up the energy of house moves. It doesn't mean that it's off forever, but there might be a delay. There might be somebody pulling out, collapse of a chain. It's something that you've worked towards and you think you've nearly got it in the bag. This could also be relationship. Maybe you've been trying to woo somebody for a while, or, and for whatever reason. Or it could be a date. You're going to be going on a date and you're really looking forward to it. Or you've got somebody who's about to arrive, a lover or something, and one of you gets sick. It's that type of thing. Let's have one other card for why we've got unfinished symphony. This is trick energy. So the trick energy, it's like a curveball type energy. It's not trying to hurt you. It's just something to watch out for. Milk and honey and peace. And happy. Yeah. There's a real warning, I think, in this video about let me rephrase that. It feels as though this video is trying to help us understand the true meaning of this month and this season. And it's not about just putting on the party face if you're not feeling as though you're in that mood. It's honouring how you're feeling. It's honouring what your conditions are, what your lifestyle is. If you can't afford it, you scale back, you scale down. You have a different type of Christmas. I mean, this year, for the first time ever, my daughter who works now, she's working the whole of Christmas. She works at an old people's home. And actually, this is a really good case in point. She's not going to be with us for Christmas Day till about 8 o'clock in the evening. And John said to me yesterday, he said, well, why don't we have our meal on Boxing Day, our Christmas meal? Why don't we have it on Boxing Day? Because she finishes at 2. And I'm like, no, we can't do that because it's not Christmas. We have to have the Christmas meal on Christmas Day. And it has to be at 3 o'clock and all of this rubbish. And it's like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. Because actually, if you want your daughter, you've got 2 daughters, if you want the whole family there, it's going to have to be the next day. You're going to have the meal the next day. And you're going to have to do something different on Christmas Day. This is the sort of energy. So it's like going with the flow. There's this thing about keeping the peace as well. I keep hearing the word real. We've got to be real. That doesn't mean insulting anybody or starting an argument, okay, and getting into confrontational energy. But there's this thing about not treading on eggshells around people. Whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling. If you need people just to leave you in peace, you've almost got to honour that's how you feel. So, yeah, right. Now let's get on to the treat. The treat energy, what is that? The treat energy is a change in the wind. And it comes in with the Queen of Pentacles. Look at that. Well, I know it's a Christmas deck, but there's 2 turkeys there as well. For whatever reason. Change in the wind. Okay, right. What I'm hearing here is that whatever happens, whatever is transpiring, whatever changes to the plan happen, whether through sudden snowfall or volcano or, you know, I'm being serious. If you've suddenly got lava coming down your road, as in maybe some parts of Hawaii, or you can't get to visit your family because it's like 5 foot of snow in front of your house, see it as happening for a reason. Okay. You know, I told you that I didn't make it to my own office party a couple of weeks ago. And I bought the sparkly dress. You all told me which dress you wanted me to wear. And I was so excited to go. And I got myself all ready and got my new shoes, my new dress, my hair was done. And then I wasn't able to attend because I had my tooth abscess. That's right. That's what happened. I was in real pain. But the team had their party, but it transpired then the week after everybody was unwell. So there was a bug. There must have been a bug or something. So if I'd have gone, I would have been unwell too. The whole ship would have been down. So, you know, sometimes there are things that happen and you don't understand it at the time, but there's always a reason why you're blocked from doing something. So a change in the wind, respect change of plans, and honour them. Queen of Pentacles. Why have we got the Queen of Pentacles as a treat? I mean, maybe she is just a treat. Maybe it's the energy of, you know, it's the Divine Mother, isn't it? It's the Divine Mother. It's the energy of Mary. And it's look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The treat is the energy of the King and Queen of Pentacles. Stability to the masculine and feminine forces in our world. This could also be linked into love, a stabilization and a better foundation for relationships. But I think this is more energetic. This is more within us, that our masculine and our feminine energy within ourselves can become stronger and more secure. And we've also got the energy of the magician. Magic makes that happen. That the push-pull energy, the the energy of doing and being, giving and receiving starts to get balanced. And it comes in unexpected ways. This could also be the energy, of course, of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, or it could be the energy of Mother Mary and Joseph. Okay, the archetypal energies. All right. Okay. Let's just use the Joseph spray. Divine Father. Joseph, father of Jesus. So grounding. My goodness, it's so grounding, this spray. It's a silly thing to say, but it's so masculine as well. But I like it. It's really good. Can't remember what the oil is in this that makes it so... it's not spikenard. Let me just look it up. Hold on. It's galbanum. Galbanum. I love the smell of it. Galbanum, orange, narcissus, lemon, black pepper and yarrow, but it's the galbanum. It's so rooty and so grounding and so steadying. It's like practical support. Practical support. Divine protector, the energy of Joseph. It's literally like the energy of I've got you. We've got this. Together we've got this. As long as we breathe. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now because I want to go and check my daughter. But anyway, lots of love to you all. Take care of yourself. Breathe, center, realign, and look out for those unexpected energies in the air. Take care of yourself. I'll be back very soon. Bye for now. Bye.